The air crackled. You could feel it. The energy was palpable, like a live wire humming with anticipation. Every corner, every alley, every stoop was alive with the buzz of something monumental about to unfold. Like static before a lightning strike, the tension was thick, almost tangible, as if the very atmosphere was charged with electricity, ready to explode at any moment. This wasn't the roar of the ring, no, this was different. This was Harlem, baby. A place where dreams were born and legends were made. The streets themselves seemed to pulse with life, each step echoing the rhythm of a community that thrived on resilience and pride. And the world was watching. Eyes from every corner of the globe were fixed on this vibrant neighborhood, waiting to see what would happen next. Radios crackled with updates, televisions flickered with anticipation, and bars were packed with people hanging on every word, every image. We've all heard the stories. Tales of grit, determination, and unyielding spirit, stories that transcended the sport, becoming part of the cultural fabric. Muhammad Ali, the man who danced like a butterfly and stung like a bee, who was at the heart of it all. Ali, the champ, the legend. His name was synonymous with greatness, his presence larger than life. He was more than just a boxer, he was a symbol of hope, a beacon of strength in a world that often seemed dark and unforgiving. But this wasn't about titles, this was about respect. In the heart of Harlem, it wasn't just about who could throw the hardest punch, but who could stand tall in the face of adversity. It was about proving oneself, earning a place in the annals of history, about two forces colliding in a city where only one could stand tall. The stakes were higher than any championship belt. It was a battle for honor, for legacy, for the right to be called the best. In the concrete jungle where the streets were as tough as the fighters, only the strongest would prevail. Ali, need I say more? The greatest. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. But this wasn't about his fists this time. This was about his heart. On the other side, a man they called Godfather, leader of a world most wouldn't understand, a world of shadows and whispers. He commanded respect, just like Ali. Harlem was buzzing. Everyone knew something big was about to go down. Tension hung in the air, thick and heavy. You could cut it with a knife. Newspapers couldn't get enough of it. Ali to face down gang leader. The headlines screamed. The world held its breath. This wasn't a fight, not in the traditional sense. This was a showdown. The day arrived, hot, sticky like the city itself. People poured into the streets. Every eye was looking for one man, Ali. And then there he was, cool as you like, a smile playing on his lips. He moved through the crowd, shaking hands, signing autographs. The people, they loved him. Section 5, face to face. The tension was palpable. Ali stood before the Godfather. Two titans ready to clash. The crowd held its breath. This was it. I can only imagine what was going through their minds. Two men, worlds apart, brought together by circumstance. The air crackled with unspoken words. Section 6. A hush falls. Silence. Not a word spoken. You could hear a pin drop. Ali, the master of words, chose them carefully. Respect, he said. Understanding. He spoke of unity, of peace. The Godfather, he listened. He studied Ali, his eyes narrowed. The crowd, they leaned in, hanging on every word. This was history in the making. Section 7. Words over fists. No punches were thrown that day. No blood was spilled. But a battle was fought, make no mistake. A battle for hearts and minds. In the end, Ali, he won. He won with his words, his charisma, his unwavering belief in humanity. He showed the world that even the toughest walls could be broken down. Section 8. Respect earned. The Godfather, he nodded, a sign of respect. The crowd erupted. Cheers filled the air. Ali, he'd done it again. He'd brought people together. That's the power of Ali. He could disarm you with a smile, inspire you with a word. He transcended boxing. He was more than just a fighter, he was a force of nature. Section 9. The aftermath. The story of that day in Harlem spread like wildfire. It was a day that would be remembered for generations, a day that would be etched into the annals of history. The streets were abuzz with chatter, and the air was thick with excitement and curiosity. People gathered in groups discussing the events that had unfolded, each adding their own spin to the tale. Newspapers, magazines, everyone wanted a piece of it. Headlines screamed the news and reporters scrambled to get the latest scoop. The media frenzy was unlike anything seen before. Ali, he downplayed it. He was a man of few words when it came to his own achievements, always humble, always grounded. He wasn't interested in the hype. To him it was just another day, another fight, another stand for what he believed in. He wasn't interested in the hype. He preferred to let his actions speak for themselves. In a world obsessed with fame and recognition, Ali stood apart. He was a beacon of integrity and strength, a man who knew his worth but never flaunted it. His calm demeanor and relaxed attitude were a stark contrast to the chaos that surrounded him. But the world, we saw something special. We saw a man who transcended the sport, a man who became a symbol of hope and resilience. The crowd's reaction was electric, a mix of awe and admiration. People cheered, not just for his victory but for what he represented. He was more than just a boxer. He was a hero, a legend in the making. We saw a man who stood up for what he believed in, even when it was dangerous. Ali's words were powerful, his message clear. He spoke of justice, equality, and the importance of standing up for one's beliefs. His speeches resonated with people from all walks of life, inspiring them to take a stand, to fight for what was right. He was a voice for the voiceless, a champion for the oppressed. Ali, he showed us the true meaning of courage. His triumphs were not just in the ring, but in the hearts and minds of those who followed him. He taught us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to face it head-on. His legacy is one of bravery, resilience, and unwavering conviction. Ali's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit, a reminder that one person can make a difference. Section 10. A legacy forged in compassion. That day in Harlem, it wasn't about winning a fight. It was a day that transcended the boundaries of the boxing ring, a day that would be etched in the memories of those who witnessed it. Harlem, a place rich in culture and history, became the backdrop for an extraordinary event. It was about winning hearts. The streets were filled with an electric energy, a palpable sense of unity and joy. People from all walks of life came together, their differences forgotten, united by the presence of a man who was more than just a boxer. And Ali, he knocked it out of the park. His charisma, his charm, his genuine love for the people shone through. He wasn't just a sports icon, he was a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience and compassion. He engaged with everyone, from the youngest child to the oldest elder, making each person feel seen and valued. He showed the world that even in the darkest corners there's always hope. In a time when the world seemed divided, Ali's actions spoke louder than any words. He brought light to places overshadowed by despair, showing that hope could flourish even in the most challenging circumstances. That's the Ali I remember. The man who wasn't afraid to stand up for what he believed in, who used his platform to advocate for justice and equality. He was a fighter in every sense of the word, not just in the ring but in life. The man who could move mountains with his words, who inspired millions with his speeches. His words had the power to ignite change, to stir the hearts and minds of people across the globe. He spoke with a conviction that was impossible to ignore, a passion that was contagious, who fought for peace as hard as he fought in the ring. Ali's battles were not confined to the squared circle. He fought tirelessly for peace, for the rights of the oppressed, for a better world. His activism was as fierce as his punches, his dedication unwavering. That's the legacy he left behind. A legacy of compassion, of courage, of unwavering commitment to making the world a better place. Muhammad Ali's impact transcends the sport of boxing. It is felt in the hearts of those who continue to be inspired by his life and his message. His legacy lives on in the community events, in the stories shared by those who knew him, and in the countless lives he touched. He showed us that true greatness is not measured by titles or accolades but by the positive impact we have on others. And that is the legacy of Muhammad Ali.